Shawn Harper spent 7 years in the trenches as an NFL offensive lineman. He used his NFL experience and the time he spent in NFL Europe to propel him to a successful career and life after football. He now owns and operates a successful multi-million dollar security firm called American Services Protection in Columbus, Ohio. He joined me this week to talk life after football and so much more. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. Sean, we're excited to be with you today to learn all about your career and what's been keeping you busy since you left football. So thanks so much for being here.
Man, thank you for having me. Done deal. Let's do it.
So, Sean, when we look at your career, you played 7 seasons. So I'm just wondering if I can start you off by asking you, what's the biggest lesson you learned from your playing career that you've taken throughout the rest of your life?
You know what? One of wow, there's so many lessons I've learned just by playing sports. One of the biggest lessons is that life is not about success. Life is about winning, and being able to take that winning concept from learning on the football field and apply it to life, it is absolutely spectacular. I've been able to run companies and to be able to consult people just on the fact of winning versus success. Another one of and I know you asked for one, but I have to throw another one in there, right? Is the importance of team. There is so much to gain and to learn from having a healthy team and maintaining healthy teams and building healthy teams. So winning and teamwork is wow. It has helped me out tremendously.
And I know that you spent some time in NFL Europe when the league was still around. So I'm wondering if you believe, just from your perspective, if the league should reinstitute a similar type developmental league.
Definitely, it's uh, there is so much opportunity for young individuals who are, who need maybe a couple years to mature, to allow their body to catch up, allow their mind to catch up. There definitely needs. I would add, though, I would love for something like that to exist, not only overseas in Europe, but to exist in the United States as well. I believe March, April, and May would be a huge opportunities to have a an actual developmental league, maybe in smaller markets, and maybe 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 two teams would basically have an interest, and uh, an actual developmental team. Most definitely would love that.
Harper believes the catalyst to his success from the gridiron to the corporate world begins with maintaining a winning mentality.
What it all comes back to the concept of winning. I have learned that starting my own company, and then individuals who are executives and C-suites and owners and CEOs, CFOs, it's like CTOs. Their mindset, male or female, is centered around winning. We have to make our numbers. We have to get to a certain destination by a certain time, and so leaving the actual professional ranks as far as an athlete and coming into the corporate world, I'm finding that it's the same environment, the same mindset. The challenge is that when you go towards middle management and down, they're more concerned about success. But at the C-suite and entrepreneurial level, I was able to take some of the same concepts, some of the same mindsets that I learned, and I was to apply them uh, in the actual a security world, and I've had tremendous success.
And I know as a motivational speaker, you focus on helping people maximize their resources, sort of manifesting their vision. So I'm wondering if you could elaborate on what you think has made you a successful speaker as well.
Winning. So there's so many attributes to winning. And so one of the things that winners do is that they set themselves apart. They always create distinctions and they exploit those distinctions to win. And so one of the things I love to do is I love when I speak is to do crazy visuals. Like I may rip phone books or rope frying pans or just do the most craziest and unethical, well, not unethical, but uncommon things that would kind of create a distinction. And so there's, well, we're going to bring in this speaker, but yeah, but this speaker does X, Y, and Z. And so I take myself out of the normal camp or the ordinary camp, and I move into the extraordinary or extraordinary camp. And once I create that distinction, then I create a flow. And once that flow begins to move, I begin to put myself in the path of the flow and capitalize on the current.
And then I know that you have 8 principles to bring out the winner in all of us in your latest book, The Winning Edge. So I'm just wondering if you could give me a preview of those principles. And again, going on the theme of being a winner again.
So you know what? I'll one up you. I'll do one even better than that. I will not only I will maybe list maybe a couple of the principles, but I want to keep it a mystery for your audience. But I'm not going to leave you hanging to send you out to Amazon. If you go to Shawn Harper ShawnHarper.co, you can get a free copy of the book. And now in the book, I talk about certain principles. Actually, they're spiritual laws that I've used over the years because I wasn't afforded a lot of the opportunities growing up with the learning disabilities, leaving high school with a 1.62 cumulative GPA, graduating last in my class in academics, 4 to 5 documented learning disabilities, that I had to use other techniques and strategies and concepts to win in life. And so I've written, I'm sorry, not written, but I've written about 8 of them, 8 of the top, and they're in the book. And one of my most favorite is the law of the 212. And that states that water is water at 211 degrees. If you add one more degree to water, that's 212 degrees, that water begins to boil. And boiling water has changed the world. And the law and the lesson that I pulled from that is that you can have a big difference by doing little things. Uh, One of my college coaches, Elliot Uselak, would always tell me, Shawn, you only have to get this much better each day. If you get this much better each day over the course of a year, it's this much. Over the course of a lifetime, it's this much. And so that's my goal, is how can I get just a little better, work a little harder than the next person to push me into the category of the 212. That's just one of 8. Log in, check it out. It's free. It's yours.
Very well, I will be sure to do that. And my final question for you has to do with we're obviously living in unprecedented times with the virus and trying to navigate life as we know it. And I know one of your philosophies is that a setup is only an excuse for a comeback. So I'm just wondering if you can, and by giving just your philosophy on how we can unify ourselves as a nation.
Well, wow. That is a great question. I believe one of the ways that we can unify ourselves as a nation is stop looking at the differences and start looking at what we have in common, and start focusing on what we have in common. And what that will do is that will generate a little bit of maybe empathy or sympathy. And from that, it would re-engage us and reconnect us, and then we will get back to community. One of the downsides to social media is that it strips us of community. There's a virtual community, yeah, that's great, but there's no intimacy without physical connection to talk and just to sit down and have a cup of coffee and just share your issues and your struggles, and to just encourage and lift up one another. And so with this, that's uh, wow, with this tragedy that's going on right now, we need to be intentional in connecting and developing community when allowed. Stressing that if you are ill, if you are sick, if you're showing symptoms, or if you're around someone who had it or had symptoms, please stay away. But if not, connect and convert some of this energy for the positive.
Fantastic, Sean. I want to thank you for spending a few minutes with us to talk about your life philosophy and so much more. Thanks for your time this afternoon. Really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you so much. And if you could, you can visit my website at shawnharper.org, or you can go to Shawn Harper Speaker. That's my Instagram. And you can follow me there. I have plenty of updates and videos daily. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.